Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of the East Hook Handmade podcast. My name is Tori. I'm from Long Island, New York, and this is my podcast. I'm also on Instagram at East Hook Handmade, and on Ravelry at East Hook Handmade, and I'm online at easthoookhandmade.com. So this is my podcast where I share a little bit about what I've been working on, some things that I've finished, just kind of, sharing about my experience for you guys. So if you're returning, thank you so much. Welcome back. If you're new, hi. I hope you enjoy. And I guess we can just jump right in. I have no acquisitions, although I've been very good. It's because I've got Rhinebeck in mind, because I'm going to Rhinebeck this year. So I know I need to kind of budget for that. And I haven't really had a need at all either. I haven't really needed yarn for anything. So if I don't need it, I've just been like steering clear of the yarn aisle. Just kind of focusing on using my stash and stuff like that. I did get like some stitch markers and like a couple of measuring tapes because I pretty much lost them to the people that I support at work, which is totally worth it, but we needed some more, so I just picked some up for myself, and I just tend to share the stitch markers with them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I support people with disabilities. I'm what we call a job coach. So we're work focused, but I also we do a group, like a crochet group. So I've been teaching them how to crochet. We do it with our hands, so they finger crochet. Some people use the hook to kind of help them, but basically that's the gist of it. Everybody's learning how to make squares, so they can kind of learn the stitches, and then they're all going to be turned into a blanket blankets that we'll donate hopefully by the end of the year. But just an update on that. That's going really well. I didn't mean to just jump right into that, but it was just the first thing on my mind because those are the only things I've acquired. But yeah, other than that, speaking of stitch markers, it's been a month since I've recorded. If you can't tell, I'm feeling a little like out of touch. I mean, not that I've ever really felt like in touch with talking to a camera alone in my space. But yeah, I think it's been a month, so it's been a hot minute. I just get super busy with things, but in that month, I posted my shop update for all my stitch markers, which I have a whole bunch here. If you have no idea what I'm talking about and you're just learning about this for the first time, I collect and make stitch markers out of seashells. So let me show you some. I have them in lobster claws and in jump rings. So like this is one of them. Hopefully you can see that okay. And this is another one. I like these ones. They're like speckled. So these are the oyster ones. The oyster ones are so beautiful. I love like the pearlescent quality of them. So if you bought some with the update, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Everybody was so nice and supportive about it. It was actually my first time selling anything that I made, if you can believe, because I've been around the social medias for almost 2 years, but I never really like sold anything. I designed a couple of patterns, but I really like actually sold a physical item. So that was all new for me, figuring out me as a 23-year-old, figuring out the post office. Because there's really no need to go there these days. Or at least, I don't know, everything is an email or like a DM or something. I don't know. We don't use the post office really, or everything, or Amazon, 21st century problems, right? So I had to learn how to mail things, which was big. Because there's a lot of, it's really easy to, just like some insight that I gained from it, it's really easy to overpay for shipping and to overdo it. And I could see how easy it was because I was stressing myself out. I was trying to do my research so that I could do it the best way that I could, the best value for me and the most, protection and oversight, with tracking and stuff like that. for the people, for people who bought them. So yeah, I definitely recommend if that's something you're jumping into, like, do a little bit of research first so you don't get, what's the word, like screwed. Yeah, because it's really easy to overpay for shipping. But anyway, so I figured that out. And yeah. So if you're interested, I don't know, here, I could show you a few more. These are another set of lobster claws. These are the mussel shells. Oh wait, these are the combo. So they're mussel shells. There. And these little conch shells. So they were a lot of fun. They were my little brainchild of the summer, which is coming to a close. I'm very excited for fall. And I still have a whole bunch. So if you're interested, you can go to the website. I'll link the shop down below. You can go check them out if you want. I'm also thinking about putting my, I've made wall hangings. There's one right here. This is like my biggest. I don't think I would put this one online. I honestly think I'm gonna keep this one. I don't care. This one is about 3 feet wide. The one up here, and the whole thing is an in-frame. I know, but the ones that I can fit in like a poly mailer and like wrap up, I think I'm going to put those up on the website. I'm not sure how interested people are. I might post on Instagram, kind of garner interest in that. I did do one market back in August, first weekend of August, and I keep meaning to do a couple more because I got tipped off to a couple more, but I haven't gotten around to it yet because it was really tiring and I've been working a lot of overtime, so I just haven't. My weekends have just been like, I just need to like crash and just relax and knit. So I have a lot of stuff to show you. Well, not a lot, 3 things, but that's kind of a lot for me for a month, because I work full time, so I wish I could knit full time. That would be nice. And crochet. I knit and crochet, just so you know. I don't think I mentioned that. I've been crocheting for about 6 or 7 years. I've been knitting for about 2 consistently. And these days I'm pretty split, like 50-50 knitting, crochet. Actually, maybe a little bit more knitting lately, which I never thought I would say, but I've been knitting. I knit a lot these days. I think it's easier for me. It's less awkward. I've caught a good rhythm with it. So we can get into some finished objects. The first one is this one. This is crochet. It is my second Tern Tunic dress. The designer is Haley Bailey. She's on Instagram at Made by Haley Bailey. And let me see if I can get a little closer for you. So this is it. I'm really excited about it. I love it. I love the way that it turned out. I feel like this is my second one. The first one is, hold on, wait, I'll go grab it. Here's the first one. You can see that. It's made in entirely different yarn. This is made in the linen hemp silk blend. So it's like really, it's just different. It's linen. It's very light and summery. And this one is made in 100% acrylic yarn. And it is Lion Brand's Amazing Lace. This is a super fine, so it's a category 1 yarn. I think it's super fine. I don't understand, because I know there's a difference between like super fine fingering lace, or lace is category 0. I don't know, but anyway, it's 1 super fine. So it's the same as, so it's a fingering weight basically, I think. Hopefully. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, or don't. I don't care. But this yarn is super great. I have a whole bunch of it. I got gifted a whole bunch of it for the holidays. And so with this top, I have about this much left. I didn't weigh it, so I don't know exactly how much yardage it is, but this yarn is such a good value. It has 1,017 yards per skein. And it comes in like it already comes like caked. Like you can see, like I was just center pulling, it didn't barf too much. Like, I didn't get too much yarn barf. So I can only say good things about it. The colorway is Eyelet Gray, so it's just plain basic gray, and fingering weight. And this is really good value. I think it was, I don't quote me, I think it's like $7 a skein, but like $7 for over 1,000 yards of fingering weight yarn. It's like, you know, if you're, it's really good for a budget. If you ever need, because I know, you know, because fingering weight is very like there's a lot of patterns for it and things like that, but a lot of the fingering weight yarn that's available is, you know, hand dyed, which of course has its place. Like, I love hand dyed yarn. I mean, you know, I mean, if you've been watching the podcast, you kind of see that I have a pretty decent like spread of like between hand dyed and like other materials or more expensive materials, and the good balance with more like big box yarns. And that's just because, you know, every fiber has its place and has its value. So yeah, so this is a really good value if you're looking for like if you're looking to do a fingering weight project, but you're always kind of, you know, dismayed because the yarn can get really expensive. I highly recommend this one. The only thing I can say is it's not pilling, but it does like, I don't know what to call it. It's something like a halo-ish type of thing. Maybe I can get close and you can kind of see it. It like, does like that, kind of, you know. I guess it would be like pilling. It fuzzes up. But yeah. But it has good stitch definition. It's soft. It's really, really soft. It's pretty easy to work with. You know, fingering weight is always a little bit of a challenge because it's so tiny. But yeah, no, it was just as easy to work with as any other fingering weight yarn that I've used. I think the only thing I have to say is that like fuzzy thing it does. Here, right, you can see it like there. I don't know what that's called. Maybe it is pilling. I always thought pilling was like when it makes the little balls. But yeah, so I've been wearing it. It's probably my 3rd or 4th time wearing it now because I love it so much. It's obviously warmer than the first one because the first one is linen. I'm like, wait, what is the word? Linen, hemp, and silk. This is acrylic, so it'll be good because this will be like a good fall top. For this, I only did, if you've made this before or you're making it for reference, the sleeve I only did up to like the 3rd row of the motif, and I just stopped it there because I like the look of just the not like quite a tank. It's not a cap sleeve. I don't know, maybe it is cap sleeve. I usually hate cap sleeves, so I think that's why I'm avoiding the word. But and then for the bottom lace, I just did like 1 repeat. That was it, because I just wanted it like a layering top. I'm very short. I have a short torso, so I really don't need that much to kind of cover my bases. So, so that's all I did, just the 1 repeat, and I really like it. I like to layer it over dresses and stuff like that. So it's a really good pattern. The way that Haley writes it is she goes by measurements and gauge. So you know, it's very customizable to really any size. This is I aimed for 20 inches per half, I guess. So it's like 40-inch bust. So it has a little bit of ease to it. So yeah, so that is my second Tern Tunic, which I really like a lot. Now, my second FO was a big, huge fail. It's the fail, but it's finished. It's my finished fail. It's my FF, I guess. It's my Storm Shawl by Joji, Locatelli, and it came out wrong. No, I got confused, and it's kind of sad because it's not really like that tough of a pattern. Like it's a shawl. It did have I learned how to do, well, actually I learned for my my work in progress, which I'll get into, but like wraps and turns in knitting, which I had no idea even existed. So the Storm Shawl, I'm sure you've seen it because it's beautiful and it's trending and it looks great. And the Joji fall knit along was coming along, so I was like, oh, I want to do that one. So I did, and it looks like it just came out like over here. I'm just gonna show you my shame. Look at it. It came out like a frilly curtain. And this is it blocked. Like I blocked it, and it's my frilly curtain. Like this is like way too tight for it. I definitely increased like way too much. Yeah, I think I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. It's a great, I think I just messed up. I know what I did now. I was looking at it. I was looking at the photos, and the way that she describes the drop stitch portion, I must have misinterpreted, because I think I added like 2 stitches to it. I think. I don't know. I messed up. I gotta go back. I think I know what I did wrong. But did anybody else end up with do this? Because I ran out of yarn too soon. That's definitely my first cue. I still had another whole like drop stitch band to work, and I ran out of yarn, so it looks so stupid. It looks even worse on. Look at it. Yeah, no, it didn't turn out right. I think when I did the drop stitch bands, I think I increased it a lot, or I don't know what the heck happened. If anybody has any insight, please let me know. This is what it looks like. It's not, I don't think it's supposed to look like this. So, but yeah, I don't know, it looks like a frilly curtain. I'm not very happy about it, considering I finished it and I was like, maybe it just needs to be blocked, and then I blocked it and it was just like, nope, that's definitely not it. At least I think that's not it. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't look alright to me. So I gotta go back and figure out what happened. But yeah, so anyway, so that's enough about my failure. The yarn is beautiful though. I got so many compliments on it every time I posted about it in the shawl thread. Everybody's super nice on Ravelry, and I don't know if anybody else is doing the Joji fall cowl. Let me know if you are. I can kind of check out your project. But yeah, so the yarn is less traveled yarn. It's her sparkle sock base. And the colorway is Aspen. Yeah. So here it is, and it's Stellina. Oh, there's my end that needs to be woven in. Well, it's not gonna get woven in because it's getting frogged, but there it is. And I love the Stellina. It's my first time working with Stellina. And it turned out really, really pretty. I love this. I love the colorway so much. Slightly out of my wheelhouse. I'm not usually a yellow person, but I thought it just looked so beautiful worked up. And the Stellina is really nice. It softened up a lot when I washed it. I forget what the wash is called. I think it's called the Rapture. It smells really good. It smells like jasmine. And it has lanolin in the wash, so it softens it up a little bit. The Stellina is so pretty. I love it. It's a sock base, so I'm obviously not expecting it to be, as buttery as, say, like an alpaca blend or something like that. It is, hold on, I have the band right here. It's 75% merino, 20% nylon, 5% Stellina. So it's really good, like sock base. I know that with sock bases, nylon helps it to, increase the strength of the yarn and reduce the pilling. So it's a 2-ply yarn, I believe. Yes, I think. Yeah, it's got like a good twist to it. It's really pretty. I'll show you one more time. So I love this yarn, and I want to do it justice, so I'm gonna frog this, but I don't want to. but I'm gonna do it. So I'll let you know how that goes. And if you have any insight, because this is what my drop stitches look like, maybe somebody can help me. I don't know why it has like 2 of these, because that's definitely not what it was supposed to look like. The way that it's written in the pattern, I don't want to give too much away about it, but it was basically like, it said knit all the stitches, and you know, like when you do a drop stitch, you're doing like yarn overs and then you let them fall off. The pattern said to leave like 1 on. So then I guess I wasn't sure if I needed to like knit that yarn over and then the knit stitch after it. I hope this is making sense. It probably isn't. So I did, and that definitely like increased it, you know, double. If I was knitting the yarn over and that. So I didn't know what to do, but I don't know if like if it's like a knit 2 together kind of, because I'm knitting the knit stitch and the yarn over left on the thing, like over my head. You know, so I kind of wish there was a little bit more insight into that for my like super apparently beginner brain, because I've actually never done drop stitches before. So, and every tutorial and everything I was looking up was saying to like, you know, scooch all the yarn overs off. The pattern said to leave 1 on. So I don't know, I messed up. But anyway, it looks pretty, kind of. If I wanted to make it like a curtain. There it is. I don't know, you live and you learn. But luckily it wasn't too big of a project, so it didn't take that much time, but still, you know, still disappointing. But yeah, so that is, I believe that's it for my finished objects. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's it. Fall time is coming around. It's been getting cooler here in New York. We've been hitting the upper 60s a couple of days. Next week today's gonna be 80. But that's how September always is here. It goes like down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down. You know, it's kind of, so we kind of stagger in. We don't really like, that would be really nice, but we don't do that. You know, even into October some years. A couple years back though, we had a La Nina oscillation, and that was so nice. It was so nice and cool by like 3rd week of September. It was just beautiful. But I don't know if that'll be the case this year. So, but my point is that I'm getting all my things that I finished over the winter last year and everything out over the summer. I'm looking over there because it's all over there, and I'm so excited. And then one funny thing is, every time I wear something to work, everybody thinks I like just finished it because they haven't seen it yet. I only just started my new program in July, so they haven't seen the thing. So they're like, did you just finish this? So they think like I finished this cowl and this shawl and this other shawl, and then they think I'm like super fast. And I'm like, no. So it's pretty funny. So once everybody sees everything, they'll know like, okay. But anyway, so when that shawl gets frogged, it will be a work in progress once again, along with my other work in progress that I'm now returning back to after my little stint, and it is my dark cloud. So here it is. It's looking pretty good. I think this is technically it upside down, because this was the neckline shaping, I believe. So it looks like this. So the pattern is Dark Cloud by Locatelli, another Joji. I'm like on such a Joji kick. I've knit her Odyssey shawl. This is Dark Cloud and the Storm Shawl. And I love her. I love her patterns because she just, I don't know, she just makes it easy, you know. She uses garter stitch when she can, whenever she wants, whenever she can. And she just always tries to like balance the patterns that she has. Now I think she's trying to design like a budget knit sweater. So she's been trying to, you know, find like more budget-friendly yarn. I think she's, for the design itself, you know, I don't know, use whatever yarn you want. Like she's purposely knitting with it so that she can get a feel for it herself and whatnot. So anyway, but I like her pattern. She has a good repertoire. So this is Dark Cloud, my little stitch marker. So this is it in action. I don't know where the camera is. I don't know where the thing is. There you go. There's it in action. Boom. So I'm almost done with this panel. I believe I just have to do the decreases, then knit the second, and whatnot. The yarn is this big hunk of right here. It's Lion Brand's Pound of Love. I forget what the colorway is. It's probably like hunter green, I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it's this really, really pretty, I guess almost like a jade somewhere, but not, maybe a hunter green. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. So far it's been pretty easy. This was the first pattern where I did wraps and turns. And you can see that the wraps and turns help create that shape here. Like slightly, you can see the shape here. So it's interesting. I learned a little bit about shaping in knitwear. So that was definitely an interesting insight that I gained from this pattern that I was then able to use when making the Storm Shawl. So yeah, so I'm happy with it so far. This is going to be my Rhinebeck sweater, mostly because I definitely don't have time to make another sweater before then. But yeah, so this is going to be my Rhinebeck sweater. Hopefully it will be nice and chilly enough to wear it. If not, I got Tern Tunics on deck. Because I know one year it was like 75 degrees at Rhinebeck. And it's late October in upstate New York. So it gets chilly up there. It's, it's supposed to be. So everybody was super shocked. And nobody could really survive the day in their wool sweaters. So it's funny because every year afterward, everybody always says like, oh, have your backup. Something lighter. But yeah, so anyway, so that's my Rhinebeck sweater that I think I'm going to work on a little bit today. I don't know if I have the heart yet to restart my Storm Shawl. I might need a little bit of space, but there's it's knit along. So I don't know if I'm going to post my fail in the group so everybody can kind of see I finished something. No idea what I'm going to do, but maybe I will. But do I feel like embarrassing myself like that? Maybe. But it goes until the end of November. I think it's technically too late. It's too late to enter now unless she comes out with a pattern before the end of November that you want to knit. And in that case, she opens it up. She opens up a new sign-in just for that pattern. So if you are interested, when her next pattern comes out and you want to hop in, I encourage you to do that because it's been fun. But yeah, so that's about it that I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're a returning viewer, I really appreciate it. That's honestly the biggest compliment when somebody reaches out to me and they tell me I've seen a bunch of the episodes, and people are really enjoying it. That's something that's super rewarding to me. I don't think I would keep coming back and doing this if it wasn't getting the response that it was getting. So I appreciate that. If you want, leave me a comment down below, introduce yourself. I always love to chat here. I know that's not a usual YouTube thing. My boyfriend was like, you respond to the comments? I'm like, oh, of course I respond to the comments, but so anyway, I respond to the comments, so go ahead, introduce yourself down below. Like I said, if you're interested in stitch markers, that is in the shop. I'll leave the link below, and if you would like, keep an eye out for the wall hangings that will hopefully be posted up soon as well. But until then, if you like what you've been seeing, go ahead and subscribe, and then I believe you'll get notifications about future episodes, or I don't know if you need to put that on, but I don't know, do whatever you want. But until then, have a good next few weeks, everybody. Bye. Thanks so much.